Hi, today we're going to talk about the terrifying tale of the girl in the attic. Thanks for the support. Let's begin. When Sarah and her husband moved into their new home, they thought they had found their dream house. It was a beautiful old Victorian with high ceilings, ornate woodwork, and a spacious attic that they planned to convert into a playroom for their children. But from the moment they moved in, strange things began to happen. At first, it was just little things, doors that would creak open on their own, unexplained cold spots in certain areas of the house, and the occasional sound of footsteps in the middle of the night. Sarah dismissed these things as just her imagination and tried to focus on the joys of their new home. But then, the incidents became more frequent and more disturbing. One night, Sarah was awakened by the sound of crying coming from the attic. She assumed it was just one of her children, but when she went to check on them, she found them sound asleep in their beds. She shrugged it off and went back to bed, but the crying continued, growing louder and more desperate as the night went on. The next day, Sarah decided to investigate the attic. It was filled with old boxes and furniture, and as she searched through them, she noticed a strange smell, a sickly sweet odor that made her feel nauseous. She followed the smell to the corner of the room, where she found a small door that had been hidden behind a stack of boxes. It was locked, but Sarah managed to pry it open with a crowbar. Inside, she found a small room with a single bed and a few personal belongings. But what caught her attention was the walls. They were covered in strange symbols and writing that she couldn't decipher. And then she noticed something else. A girl huddled in the corner of the room, her face buried in her hands. Sarah was horrified. She had no idea how long the girl had been there or who had put her there. She immediately called the police, who arrived and took the girl away to a hospital for treatment. They discovered that the girl had been missing for over a year, and they had no idea how she had ended up in the attic of Sarah's new home. But even after the girl was rescued, strange things continued to happen in the house. Sarah could feel a presence watching her, and she would wake up in the middle of the night to find the girl standing at the foot of her bed, staring at her with empty eyes. Sarah tried to ignore it, but the presence grew stronger and more malevolent with each passing day. One night, Sarah woke up to find her husband standing over her, his face twisted into a grotesque expression of hatred. He raised a knife, and before Sarah could react, he plunged it into her chest. As she lay dying on the floor, she realized the horrible truth. The girl in the attic was not the victim, but the perpetrator. She had been possessed by an evil spirit that had taken over her body and used her to carry out its twisted desires. Sarah's story became the stuff of local legend, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk within the walls of our homes. To this day, people still claim to hear the cries of the girl in the attic, and some say that her malevolent spirit still haunts the old Victorian, searching for its next victim.